What that means is every time we move $1 of direct labor cost over into work in process, we want to move $10 of overhead costs. We're incurring actual overhead costs, and we're using this account to accumulate the overhead costs, and we're moving the costs from overhead into work in process using the direct labor costs that we're moving in work in process as a guide. So if we move $1 of labor costs into work in process, we're going to move $10 of overhead costs into work in process in this example anyway. If we had $10 of direct labor costs, we would move $100 of overhead costs into work in process. And we would expect over the course of the year, in this example, to have a total of $100 of labor costs and $1,000 of overhead costs move into the work in process account. So that's how we do that. And by the end of the period, we would expect to have $1,000 of overhead costs incurred and $1,000 of overhead costs moved into the work in process account. What's going to happen here? We're not going to get it right. What happens if instead of having $1,000 of overhead costs, we instead incur a total of $1,200? Let's say that we nail our labor costs, but we're light on our overhead costs. If we had known we were going to have $1,200 of overhead and $100 of labor costs, we would have set our rate at $12. And if we had done that, if we had incurred $1,200 of labor, of overhead, then we would have wanted to move out $1,200 of overhead into the work in process. But we didn't get it exactly right. So instead, we incurred $1,200 of actual costs and $1,000 that was applied to work in process, because we took the $100 of labor that we moved over to work in process, and we multiplied that times our rate of 10 and gave us $1,000. What does that mean? That's going to leave us with a balance in this account of $200, a debit balance.